Have you ever sat in the room with your significant other while they're playing a video game or watching TV? If you have, and you've ever tried to make conversation with them, then you know that it is nearly impossible. In my speech today, I will tell you about the differences in male and female communication. According to Dr. Gregory Jantz, it is no secret that boys and girls are different, very different. The differences between genders, however, extend beyond what the eye can see. Research reveals major distinguishers between male and female brains. Scientists generally study four primary areas of differences in male and female brains: processing, chemistry, and activity. The differences between male and female brains in these areas show up all over the world, but scientists also have discovered exceptions to every so-called gender rule. You may know some boys who are very sensitive, immensely talkative about feelings, and just generally don't fit the boy way of doing things. As with all gender differences, no one way of doing things is better or worse. The differences are simply generalized differences in typical brain functioning, and it is important to remember that all differences have their advantages and disadvantages. With the differences between men and women stacking up, it is perhaps no surprise to many that men and women communicate and listen in different ways. But what precisely are the differences between the genders? Margaret Bradley says, and it is possible to use these differences in your advantages. Beware of how best to communicate with your partner in a good way to improve your relationship and ensure that you are both coming away from a conversation on the same page. Similarly, an understanding of how best to communicate will aid you in various walks of life, including work, friendship, and family life. When it comes to listening to men and women, both work in different ways. Men have a natural aptitude for problem solving, and this comes across in the way that they take in information. Men listen by thinking of ways they can make a decision and solve a problem. As a result, they are very quick to make a decision and work forward. By contrast, women listen to information by making a mental note and reference to form various solutions to the problem before settling on a desired course of action. This can make them slower than men to come to a solution. If men are more interested in the solution, then women are more interested in the journey to the solution. In conversation, women will often include more details in what they say. This can include memories, their emotions, or encouragement to do the same. Women conversing together tend to have conversations with more layers and depths than men, with each woman adding more depth to a topic. On the other hand, men tend to have much simpler conversations, which can often appear clearer than a woman's conversation. Men tend to have more focused conversations without much detail, and often the length of their points are shorter. Men tend to display their intellect in conversation. When communicating with the opposite sex, it is worth bearing these differences in mind and trying to work with them rather than against them. For example, as a woman is talking to a man, it is worth trying to make the point clear and to the point. If you are making a large and complicated point, break it down into chunks that he can fully understand before moving on to your next point. While women find it easy to follow large statements, a man may find it overwhelming and struggle to remember everything that you are saying. Also, make sure that you do not interrupt him. Men talking to women should bear in mind that women respond well in their emotional reactions. If she is making what you feel to be a long, complicated point, try to, rather than breaking it down for her, try not to problem solve for her, but instead try to focus on the emotional aspect of what she is communicating and connect with that instead. These techniques can be used while to master. These techniques can be take a while to master. Laurie M. Stewart has some points. Men want to give information and remain independent of the other party. Men are comfortable telling others what to do and appear superior, where women try to not be superior, and they desire intimacy and conversation to feel connected to others. We all want to be understood by others, but men and women tend to have different communication styles. However, once again, neither style is right or wrong.